time travel elements and the potential crossovers because of it makes the already announced Booster Gold series a project that you don't want to miss. And with some details being thrown around, I decided to dig a little and give you a first look into the series and tell you everything I know so far. And without further ado, let's dive right in. A few months ago, James Gunn gave an announcement that he'll be taking over the DC universe and making a new one from scratch. One that, according to him, could potentially rival the MCU. And despite that those are some big shoes to fill, if there is one universe that could do that, it would be the DCU. MCU counterpart at the moment. Joining Gunn will be Peter Safran, a very close friend of Gunn, with whom he's worked with on several occasions.
He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day.
And judging by the looks of things and last week's announcement from Gunn himself about the early plans and projects in development as I speak, Warner Bros. Was quite busy with Gunn, as he must have done a lot of things, like assembling a writing team to kick things off and deliver a first pitch for the start of the live-action DC universe, as well as which characters to introduce first, and more importantly, why. With everything put in motion, a plan, or at least part of a plan, has been established, with it right now being called Chapter 1 God and Monsters, a slate of projects already put in development. As for which projects those are, well, there are 10 to be more precise. 5 big screen movies and 5 TV shows that will be released exclusively on the HBO Max streaming platform. And don't worry, these are not all the projects, with so many more to come in the near future, and each and every one of them taking part in the DCU. The list of projects is quite unique, because not only does it involve some big names and well-known heroes, but it also has some lesser-known characters, including the likes of Michael Carter, aka Booster Gold, the one character we're all here today. The short synopsis of the series was unveiled by Gunn, and it said that the Booster Gold project will be an HBO Max series based on a unique, lesser-known hero created way back in 1986. As for the character himself, he's practically a loser from the future that uses basic future technology to come back to the present and pretend to be a superhero. And when you look at it, the series does sound like a lot of fun, and comedic elements are surely involved, while the story of an imposter syndrome as superhero intertwined with the threats that are about to be faced by Booster Gold. Outside of all projects that were announced, Booster Gold was the one that was most asked for by the audiences. And even though not much has been revealed about the series itself, including the story side of things, the Booster Gold project will become part of a franchise, which is probably an even more important element for Booster Gold's future as part of the wider DCU. So far, there have been 2 live-action appearances from the character, with the most recent one being in 2022 through the Legends of Tomorrow series, where he hit that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality, a series where he appeared in the 7th season, portrayed by Donald Faison, which is yet another dead end when the story of the characters is taken into consideration, simply because the character's future became the biggest cliffhanger of the Arrowverse future, which is all due to the fact that a Season 8 will not be happening anytime soon. Probably ever. Another mysterious factor of the series is the fact that the project has yet to receive an official release date, something that I think will not happen for quite a while, not only because of the projects getting announced just recently, but also because of some rumors saying that 2025 will be the year when the DCU kicks off, meaning that the series could either hit in 2025 or 2026. Yeah, I know, a long wait is ahead of us all. However, that doesn't mean that I can't give you more insight into the character, his origin story, his powers, as well as his part in the upcoming DCU, and where he could fit in it all when the series drops. As I said before, the character made his debut in 1986, after he was created by Dan Jurgens, a 25th century Gotham citizen who worked at a Metropolis museum. The most interesting thing about the character when he first appeared was that despite him being introduced and expected to become a superhero in future releases of Booster Gold Issue 1, he was not giving any powers or physical training whatsoever. Instead, what happened was the character was released from prison, and he decided to steal some technology from the museum where he worked, and became a superhero, turning his life around. Michael Carter would read a lot about the Justice League members at the museum, a group that he was obsessed with, and the motive behind his idea to become a superhero. Michael stole a time machine that was used by Rip Hunter, a big DC supervillain, and he went back to the 20th century to become one of that era's superheroes. And the idea behind his thinking was simple. He would use basic technology from the 25th century, including an AI robot known as Skeets, and he'd be able to fight alongside Superman or Green Lantern and become one of the legendary heroes of the 20th century. In his original comic book appearance, he saved Ronald Reagan from a supervillain and sort of achieved the fame he was looking for. A time when Booster Gold, the superhero, was born. Despite Booster Gold causing timeline changes and him not having any superpowers, the tech and suit he uses grants him an impressive set of abilities. He can fly, shoot gold energy blast, create time dilation zones to resist time travel paradoxes, and he can even become intangible, unable to be touched as he has no physique. Skeets, his faithful companion, is a supercomputer that can come up with quick solutions to almost any problem. But outside of comic book appearances, in the live action side of things, the energy blast are his primary ability, with the other part of his arsenal yet to be revealed. While Booster Gold cannot time travel without an external device, the fact that he can use Rip Hunter's technology makes him one of the most crucial DC superheroes who have smashed that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But no, on the more serious side of things, one of the most crucial superheroes who'll probably play a huge part in the upcoming DCU, especially if there are a whole lot of time-traveling shenanigans involved. This could be the narrative of the character's upcoming debut in the DCU, with stories adopted straight from the comics, where he played a crucial role on several occasions. Many fans would also point out his comedic side due to the DC animated universe, a place where Gunn could potentially take some adaptations, if that is the path that he wants to take for the character. As I mentioned before, Gunn said that the series will eventually be a character study that will dive into Booster Gold's imposter syndrome, who, despite helping save the universe quite a few times, never saw himself as a true Justice League hero like the ones he would read about at the museum. This is something DC's Booster Gold could do, as it would connect a character study to the broader DC universe, with the actor to do all that yet to be announced. While I'm here, I'd also like to note that there have been rumors of Chris Pratt already being in talks for the role, something that makes sense, given the collaboration between the two at Marvel Studios for the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. However, take this information with a grain of salt, as it could only be a rumor and nothing else. Whatever the case may be, a Booster Gold series confirms that the new DCU will dive into the more fantastical side of DC right away, which is evident by the fact that there is no Booster Gold without any type of time travel involved, meaning that you should expect a whole lot of world building in the Booster Gold series, something the newly created DCU needs the most right now. See you in the next video.